and welcome to Business 300. My name is Philip Kulashov, and this is 300 Seconds About Business. We're all a busy people, so I have 5 minutes or less to get my point across. Here are 5 minutes towards your best life later. Business managers have to deal with volatility. Things in business can be unpredictable and constantly chaotic. In fact, this is so basic for many managers that they succumb to the chaos and agree to live in its chokehold. They identify the issues as not within their control, tackle the instability with constant firefighting, and train their team to do likewise. If you see an area struggling, jump in to help, they say, or we need to learn to think on the spot. Sure, perhaps there's a time when that's necessary, but the problem with these kinds of responses to instability is that they themselves are also unstable. It's more like trying to put out a fire with lighter fluid than with a fire extinguisher. Instead of cultivating order, consistently ad hoc reactions to instability nourish more chaos. Working that way is less avoidable when you're starting off. When you're hacking away through uncharted territory, you need to be able to think on the spot. When you're building a prototype for the first time, there will be a lot of unforeseen instability. Or when you're experimenting with a new production line design, you'll need to catch the chaos. But as your company matures, instead of trying to hide the chaos by always thinking on the spot, a more sustainable approach is to cultivate order. In my own experience, there have been many issues that I thought were unpredictable, but after some consideration, I realized that they are to a certain degree repetitive. Things may seem like they're not in your control, but usually you can control more than you think. It's a victim mentality that drives constant chaotic reactions to problems. I am a victim of my business environment is not a helpful slogan. The business owner is not only responsible for his business environment, but is typically able to control much more of it than most people think. Yes, every business has challenges and unique problems, but that doesn't make cultivating order impossible. Tame the wild. So, how do you cultivate order and avoid nourishing chaos? What should the proper response be when you see volatility in your business? First, stay calm, take a breather, and don't freak out. Realize that today's problems are not the end all. Life goes on. A bit of a bigger perspective is helpful when chaos ensues. There are probably more important things than your current issue. Second, go ahead and solve your urgent problem. Do what needs to get done to get your product out. Solve your customer's concern. Get the result you need today. But keep your problem in that bigger perspective. And third, with the broader perspective in mind and the urgent issue out of the way, know that it will probably happen again. Maybe not exactly the same way, but most likely in a similar fashion. For some reason, we're surprised every time a problem hits us, thinking that it's unique and was impossible to foresee. Most things in our business are not completely unique. Even if your business makes custom products built to order or is a service business with different scenarios, rhyme and repetition ensues. Look at the broad range of scenarios, and instead of playing chess, seeing all pieces as unique, try to play checkers. Find what is common across the situations, what is repetitive. If you make custom products, what components are the same? What processes does the operation have to do every time? If you keep running behind schedule on your deliveries, why are you late? What is the why behind the why? And then, with identifying those repetitive scenarios, develop standard work to answer them. When this type of product comes in, this is what we do. When this kind of customer calls us, this is what we do. The standards should include the way work ought to be done at a certain workstation. And as you develop standards across different kinds of work, you start connecting them with one another. Connect the dots between workstations so that you can align work at different stations to a unifying rhythm. Combine different work standards into one synchronized whole. This is not an overnight solution. Depending on the size and complexity of your business, it may take a few years to cultivate this order. Either that, or you continue living in chaos. As business managers, we may not always be responsible for the reason of the chaos, but we are responsible to take dominion and tame the wild. If we nourish more chaos by reacting to every problem as unique, we are to blame. Even firefighters have a standard way to stop the flames. So, instead of playing chess with your business, learn to play checkers.